that's going to be the difference in this fight is Shakur's ability to make adjustments and to have a blank canvas and to create something out of thin air, figure it out. Teo needs an outline to create that picture. And I think just that little bit of time that it takes for him to look at that outline before he starts painting again, I think that's going to be the difference in this fight.
Teo, get ready. I'm going to come at my best, and you better be ready for it.
Stylistically, man, how does Shakur beat Teo and vice versa? Stylistically, how does Teo beat Shakur?
Stylistically, Teo got to go in and go for broke. He got to go gamble. He got to take some, get some, and that's his only way to win. If he stays outside of boxes, Shakur going to pick him apart. Shakur's a polished boxer with some of the best feet in the game right now, and he's a defensive-minded fighter, which is very smart. It's hard to hit him. He makes you gamble to hit him, and he's going to be a tough one to deal with. But if Teofimo is willing to gamble to beat him, then Teofimo can definitely make it a really good fight.
AndreWard, a longtime mentor and one of the sharpest minds in boxing psychology, has revealed why Teofimo Lopez may be walking straight into a technical trap against Shakur Stevenson. While many fans remain fixated on Teofimo's explosive power, Ward argues that Stevenson is a true blank canvas fighter, someone with the ring IQ, experience, and athletic ability to create and adjust any tactical picture he wants in real time. In contrast, Ward sees Lopez as a fighter who often needs a clear blueprint to follow. He looks dominant against stationary or inferior opponents, but tends to struggle when forced to improvise against an elite mover who constantly changes angles.
It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
I respect them both because Teo knows it's going to be a real fight. Shakur knows it's going to be a real fight. And I look at Shakur like a fighter who has a blank canvas. He's got the IQ, he got the experience, and the athleticism and the skill set where he can paint any type of picture he wants to on a blank canvas. When I look at Teofimo Lopez, he's almost that. He has a blank canvas, but he needs an outline on what to draw and what to paint inside the line. Now, every now and again, he'll go away from the outline that he has and he'll do something dope and you'll be like, oh, that was cool. That wasn't on the outline right there. But I don't think that he can create on the fly like a Shakur Stevenson. But what he does bring to the table and what Shakur does have to deal with is explosive power, quick twitch, muscles, and the type of punches that he likes to throw. And Teo doesn't have the foot game that Shakur has, but he's got a decent foot game. So Shakur has a lot to deal with as well. But I just think that when it comes to creating on the fly, making adjustments on the fly, Teofimo Lopez looks like the better boxer when he's facing an inferior fighter.
One of the most dangerous myths in boxing is the belief that one-shot power can solve every problem, and both AndreWard and Tim Bradley are warning Teofimo Lopez about that mindset. Ward explains that while knockouts are exciting, they are not a sustainable foundation for long-term success. As fighters move up in weight, they face opponents who refuse to stand still or trade power shots. Tim Bradley has even compared Lopez to explosive athletes like Zab Judah and Prince Nassim Hamed, fighters who looked unstoppable until they ran into a technical genius like Pernell Whitaker, who outboxed opponents every second of every round. If Lopez relies solely on athleticism, he may find himself stuck in a chess match he isn't prepared to win.
Punchers. Both of these guys are good counter punchers. Teo got good speed. Shakur got great speed, great legs, great distance control. When I look at the style matchup, I say to myself, this is the style that kind of gives Teofimo Lopez issues. You know, when you look at his hardest fights in his career, there were guys that was able to control the distance on him. You know, that was able to keep some space in between, you know, and was able to time him when he would explode in. Shakur is the best at that, you know, and guys that have given Shakur issues are smart cerebral fighters with high boxing IQ, that has punching power, and Teo possesses punching power. So great style matchup, man. When it comes to Shakur Stevenson, I want to blend. You know, if he fight to get in there with T, Shakur, give us a blend. Yeah, give us some Stevenson with the defense, and then give us some Pookie from New Jack City. Give us some Pookie, Shakur. Yeah, oh yeah.
History shows that Teofimo Lopez has struggled against mobile, elusive southpaws, and Shakur Stevenson is the master of that exact style. Analysts often point to Lopez's controversial performances against Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz as evidence of his difficulty cutting off the ring. In those fights, lateral movement and weak side pivots prevented Lopez from landing clean shots. AndreWard believes this weakness will be tested like never before against Shakur, who can consistently escape to the weak side and force Lopez to chase shadows for 12 rounds. While Lopez often relies on the Philly shell for defense, film study suggests it may work against him in an open stance matchup with a southpaw. His defense is largely reactionary and can be timed when his rhythm is disrupted, leaving him vulnerable to rear hand body shots and lead hand hooks as he lunges into range. Shakur's educated lead hand and constant probing create traffic, clog jab lanes, and set traps that catch Lopez mid-explosion.
All right, so first up, Shakur Stevenson, he has great footwork. Teofimo Lopez, he does not have the best footwork. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Teofimo Lopez struggled against Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin would exit to his right, which would be Teofimo Lopez's left side, and Teofimo Lopez struggles to cut off the ring. When Jermaine Ortiz fought Teofimo Lopez, Jermaine Ortiz fought out of the southpaw stance, and he just would exit to the right, and Teofimo Lopez could not cut the ring off to his left side. That's going to be a huge thing in this fight, because I do expect Shakur Stevenson to use the ring, and he watches all of Teofimo Lopez's fights. When Teo is fighting, Shakur is on X and he's putting out posts about it. So he's been studying Teofimo Lopez, and I think he knows this. I think he is going to frustrate Teofimo Lopez the same way Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin did. Now, yes, Teofimo Lopez did win those fights, but again, I rank Shakur Stevenson way ahead of those guys, and personally, I think Sandor Martin beat Teofimo Lopez, but that's not what the judges had, so that's neither here nor there. But the first thing that I think is going to be an issue is that footwork. Teofimo Lopez is not going to be able to cut off the ring against Shakur Stevenson, and he is going to get desperate and he is going to make mistakes. He's going to get impatient in the ring.
Beyond the technical breakdowns, Shakur Stevenson holds a significant mental edge forged through years of training alongside Terrence Bud Crawford. Sharing the gym with a pound-for-pound great forces constant growth, discipline, and elite problem-solving under pressure. That environment has shaped Stevenson into a fighter with exceptional composure when the stakes are highest. While Teofimo's team often emphasizes psychological warfare to break opponents mentally, Shakur's time in the trenches with Crawford suggests his mental armor is extremely difficult to crack.
Would Teofimo knock out Shakur? No. Can Teo adjust to the point where he beats Shakur? Yeah. You don't see how? Shakur hates slick and economic boxers. So does Teo. They both hate where each other are. Shakur looks great against volume punchers. De Los Santos sitting back and not being active, Shakur doesn't look good. That's when they say he's boring. The thing is, Teofimo Lopez is an excellent fighter. He beat Josh Taylor and Lomachenko. How did he beat Lomachenko? By being patient. Y'all sleeping on Teo. And it's at 140. Now the thing what's wrong with Teo is, Teo also looks good as a counter puncher when you are a volume puncher too. Another thing is, Teo looks very great when he's dialed in. He fights more athletic than Shakur. Shakur fights far more technically sound, and he's a more gifted fighter skill-wise. I'm leaning towards Shakur, but Teo can win.
I'll tell you this though, you bit more than you could chew.
It's cool. You can feel that way.
For sure.
But come fight night, you're going to realize this is a lot different than being on the outside than being inside of there.
As they all say.
Okay. I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Oh, my God. Mentally. Okay. I'm talking about I'm slow in the boxing ring, right?
Mentally.
I'm talking about the boxing ring, what you was talking about. I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Okay, you're going to see.